All right, are you guys ready for chapter 3? It's a long one, so I don't know if we'll get it finished today. It's dusk and the sun is setting, all orange like a creamsicle. Rays of late afternoon light shine through the treehouse windows, and the little wind chime from Home Goods I hung out front is dinging away. I'm huddled over the busted walkie, trying to repair it with my new tiny little screwdriver. Note, it's called a walkie, not a walkie-talkie. I think my repair job is going pretty well. The walkie communicates with only one person, Quint Baker. Quint Baker is my best friend, my only friend. When I first moved to Wakefield last winter, Quint was the only kid who'd talk to me. When you're a foster kid and you bounce all around the place, you become used to getting by without friends. But Quint and I were like some Legos. We just clicked. Quint gave me the walkie, one half of a pair for my birthday. Best birthday present I ever got. Ever. Since my foster parents were no way giving me a cell phone, and Quint's not-so parents were convinced cell phones made your brain melt, the walkies were the only way that Quint and I could talk outside of school. But now I'm afraid Quint is gone. The day everything happened, well, we split up. Now he's probably zombified or headed out west along with everyone else in town. When everything first happened, I heard it was safer out west. But I haven't heard anything about that since, like day 4, so who knows? But still, there's a chance Quint is alive somewhere, and this walkie could reach him. So I cannot quit. 7 finger burns later, I get the walkie working. I squeeze the button, and it lets out a soft hiss that tells me it's transmitting. Quint, it's Jack. Finally, I got my walkie working. I have no idea if you're out there, but you are. If you are, well, let me know, buddy. Getting a little lonely over here. I wait a few minutes. No response. A few more minutes. Still no response. I head to bed. My bed is a pile of sweatshirts and socks and towels in the corner of the treehouse. I plop down and curl up under my one blanket. It's plenty warm out still, but I need to be under a blanket when I sleep. I mean, a blanket isn't going to do anything against a winged wretch or a dozer, but still, it feels safer. Soon I drift off to sleep, and I have nightmares. Nightmares that feel real. Nightmares about that morning, 42 days ago, when the monsters came and everything changed. 42 days ago. It was a regular morning, early June. After school, you want to use sticks as lightsabers and sword fight and film it so we can add special effects later and make it our own movie? Yes, Quint. Yes, I do. School was almost over and everyone had that summer vacay fever feeling, like freedom was just around the corner. I only half had it because summer vacation for me meant a whole lot more time with the Robinsons, which was a recipe for zero fun having and heavy lawn mowing duty. I remember just before it happened, the bus pulling up in front of the school. I remember too that Quint was eating this rotten smelling egg salad sandwich. I can still smell it now, like the odor has been tattooed in my nostrils. And I remember Dirk Savage coming toward us, filling the bus aisle, thick and towering, casting a long shadow. Dirk Savage was the most formidable bully at Parker Middle School. I think he came out of the womb with facial hair. Legend has it he moved here from Detroit and his parents just left him. They split because he was bullying them, and he took up in a shack by himself way out in the Wakefield woods. He only showed up at the school to steal lunch money from other bullies. Dirk looked down at Quint and growled, "Kid, your sandwich stinks like squirrel butt." Quint squinted at Dirk. He didn't say anything. I mean, how do you respond to that? Dirk snatched the sandwich from Quint's hand and jammed the thing, which he had just described as having the odor of a squirrel's butt, into his mouth. "It stinks," Dirk said, grinning a fat grin, crumbs tumbling from his big square face. "But it doesn't taste too bad." I felt myself getting hot, heart beating faster, angry blood replacing regular blood pumping through me. I stood up, tried to stay calm, handle it cool. I felt Quint's hand on my shirt trying to stop me, saying, "Jack, it's fine." But it wasn't fine. I hate jerks, whether they're monster jerks or zombie jerks or just regular human jerks. Hey, Dirk, why don't you pick on someone your own size? Huh? Find someone my size and I will, Dirk said. I shrugged. I'm sure we can find someone your size, right, Quint? Quint looked out the window and closed his eyes and started humming to himself like he wasn't involved in this. Sanfa. I turned back to Dirk. Maybe a very rotund panda bear. That might be closer to your impressive figure. Dirk reached out and grabbed me by the collar. Hey, watch the jacket, I said. It's a 5-time hand-me-down. Might even be an antique. Dirk growled. You think you're funny? I do. But to be fair, I also think people slipping on ice are funny and guys getting hit in the groin. My sense of humor isn't exactly sophisticated. Dirk's about to slug me when a high-pitched scream cuts through the air. There's always screaming in the morning outside school. People messing around, shoving, chasing, teasing, and girls laughing so loud it sounds like screaming. But this scream was different. It was a scream of pure horror. Dirk released me and I leaned over Quint and pressed my face to the window and saw zombies. I remember thinking, this can't be real. It must be a prank, a joke, a reality show, right? So I said to Quint, this can't be real. It must be a prank, a joke, a reality show, right? But it wasn't. That was it. The monster apocalypse had begun. Next, there was a Godzilla-sounding howl like, "Roar!" and the whole bus suddenly shifted. I was thrown into Dirk, and Quint was lifted outside the seat and spun out into the aisle. The bus driver, a nice white-haired dude, was sobbing like a newborn. The bus became darker. Something was covering the windows, wrapping around the bus. A monster hand. The monster tilted the bus so the back pointed toward the sky. We all pinballed, plummeting down the aisle, smashing against the seats, backpacks flying into the air. We came to a sudden, painful stop. Every kid on the bus piled up against the front door in a big heap. Quint, I managed. I could barely breathe. Kids all over me, an armpit in my face, a foot in my head, an ear on my nose. Quint, what's happening? I'm not sure, Jack, Quint said. Quint always had the answer to everything. This time he didn't. That almost scared me more than the monster. Almost. The monster's hulking paw squeezed the bus like it was an empty Pringles can, and the front door opened with a loud metal pop, dumping us out into the parking lot pavement. My face bounced off the cement, nose bleeding, blood down to my lips and onto my tongue. I scrambled to my feet, pulling Quint with me, leading us away from the thick crowd and the screaming and the crying. This is my nightmare now. That was a nightmare then. I got my bearings, looked around, and total monster zombie chaos. One single, beautiful, angelic face stood out of the mass of fleeing people. June Del Toro. I spotted a zombie stumbling toward her, coming up from behind. June, I screamed, my voice cracking as I strained to shout across the parking lot. Behind you! June turned and dodged the stumbling, falling zombie, left it sprawled out on the ground, and darted inside the school. We locked eyes. Then the door slammed shut. I said to myself, then whatever happened, whatever came next, somehow I get back to the school and find June. Where to, Jack? Quint asked me, snapping me out of it. Joe's Pizza? I think it's 2 for 1 slices today. Jack, be serious. Well, I don't know. Monster zombie chaos is new to me. I guess, run! And we did. We sprinted away from the school bus and the giant monster and the hordes of zombies. We hopped the fence into the soccer field and fled to the woods beyond it. Quint, I said, catching my breath and pulling him from behind a tree. We need to find some place to go, like the police station or something, or we need like G.I. Joe or the Avengers to show up, or Iron Man, something. Iron Man isn't real, Jack. Robert Downey Jr.'s real, and I bet he could help. Jack! Sorry, you're right, I said. He's probably busy being famous and stuff. Quint groaned. My parents are on vacation. I have a babysitter. I'll go to my house, assess the situation. You run to your house. I nodded. Quint held up his walkie. We stay in touch on these at all times, he said. Deal. I was trying to stay calm. Bleak classic cool Jack Sullivan. But my heart was pounding, and it felt like my whole body was shaking. Talk soon, friend. You bet. When I got home, the car was gone, and there were tire marks in the driveway. My family was gone. I climbed into the treehouse. In my panic, I sort of collapsed onto the treehouse poker table and knocked the walkie off. The walkie bounced on the floor and through the door. I lunged for it, but smash! I stared at the walkie on the ground below. I needed to talk to Quint, but I'm embarrassed to admit I was too scared to go down there. Too freaked out. Too overwhelmed. Too everything. So I curled up on the floor. I pulled a jacket down over me. I put my earphones in to drown out the sounds of the chaos outside, and I slept. I slept for days. Let's see how many pages are left. I think we're going to quit right there because there's quite a few pages left.